I've paid for already.
Oh, SWTOR?
Yeah. Because it's a fun leveling game, but that's all I've found it to be so far.
This is what people don't understand. Like, okay, to put it in comparison, we'll use Craig. Craig said he loves Star Wars. It's exactly like, wow, you're leveling a fucking tune to max level to do dailies every day, and you're gonna run flashpoints, which are dungeons. That's it. And you can raid if you want. What the fuck is WoW? You level a tune, you hit max level, you do dailies, you run dungeons, and you raid. Oh my god, what's the difference? You have a lightsaber.
I actually like the leveling experience.
I can't marry my pets. That's just wrong.
The TOR leveling experience is actually a lot of fun. The story is good. I think it's pretty good. Although it is getting kind of repetitive when you hit the mid-40s. But it is an interesting storyline to begin with. And the voice interaction really, it brings it home a lot more than the WoW quest logs.
But it's the same thing. I think WoW
realistically,
WoW has an advantage in terms of mechanics. Like, the World of Warcraft mechanics are very polished, and the combat system is really fluid, and a lot of people really like that. Versus TOR, it's kind of clunky, there's no combat log, you're not really sure what's going on half the time, you're just kind of farting in the wind every time you pick abilities, you know.
What I'm saying though is yeah, your mechanics might be a lot, better at one game than the other, but generally what you're doing in the game physically is exactly the same from one game to another.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. I think anybody who had that in their mind that was otherwise, they were in for either a surprise or they're just blind to the fact that it's different.
Well, here's the thing. When people get all fucking butthurt inside the game because people make WoW comments and they all rage and shit like that, here's the essential thing, right? And my opinion on the matter is that there are some things that are essential to making a game an MMO. Otherwise, it is not an MMO. Getting together in a group, right? Doing dungeons, doing flashpoints, doing PvP, all that shit like that is all part of what essentially an MMO builds up to be, right? Because what we're doing is we're interacting with other people in the game, and what that's going to turn into is some sort of cooperative thing, where you need other people in order to achieve some sort of goal, be it whether that's a PvP thing, or if that's a flashpoint thing, it doesn't matter. That's essentially what an MMO is. So you cannot have an MMO and not have those elements. The argument that Ching is making, which is a good one, is that this game could have been just as good as a console game with no MMO element to it. And the reason is because the roleplay aspect of the game is very strong. And that's the part that I fucking love about the game. The part that I'm getting the most enjoyment out right now of the game is the fact that my character, Fidge, right, in SWTOR, has an attitude, has a persona, has a way that she acts. It's a role-play thing, right? So when I interact with other NPCs, I interact in a very particular way. Now, that's not something that you got in World of Warcraft, so it's kind of a nice little treat in this game. And that interaction is meaningful, right? If you were to ask me, role-play as, Hotspur, right, I would fucking just act like me. Because there is no roleplay element to that MMORPG. It's MMO, but no RPG. This game is RPG with not a lot of good MMO.
There's one roleplay thing that ever seems. There's two that happen in the game. If you start out in the elf area and you pick up those things for that eagle satyr dude, you get to the thing and they're like, hey, you made a mistake. You need to fix it by turning him into a toad. And then there's the point in Then there's the point in sorry, there's a rogue on me. There's the point in what is that other thing that happens? There's another thing where you make a decision on something. Oh, when you do something for the Forsaken in the Hellfire Peninsula. and they tell you, hey, that wasn't right, you need to fix it. That's it. Those are the only times they basically call you out on your actions.
And this game calls you out on your actions pretty much continuously. Like, I have been playing through as Dark Side right now. I cannot wait to replay this as Light Side. Mostly because I know that the quest processes, like the different things that happen in some of the key quests, are going to change drastically. Like, I grouped with like a random person the other day just to fucking, cause I had to kill like 100 of these dudes, and I was like, fuck. And so this guy was just like, let's group, and I'm like, sweet, let's do it. But he was going Light Side, and I was going Dark Side. So, like, he was making some light side decisions that I totally would not have made for my character. And, like, the story just drastically changed. And that was fun.
Are any of you that multi-boxer?
There is an 8-boxing hunter that just hit me for a fucking bajillion, and I was just like, what happened?
Those are always the best. The best I ever saw before that was the 5-boxing Shadow Priest. Fucking 10 dots go up on you in 2 GCDs and you're like, oh fuck, I'm dead.